Hello, everybody. My name is Ricardo, and I'm a very creative person. Okay, so let's dive into the topic of cheap and bougie. And I want to talk about the levels of cheap before I get to bougie. Me and my friend Red A Baddie, we talk about this all the time. We're bougie, but at the same time, we know how to be cheap. And that goes for anybody out there who's trying to decorate their place, like their bedroom, bathroom. You know how to mix it up. There's certain stuff you need to spend your money on and be expensive. And then there's certain things you need to be cheap on. But then you got those people out there who are too cheap. And I'm about to dive in and talk about the topic of the levels of cheap and the levels of bougie. And by the way, I just want to thank y'all for the support. I read the comments. Thank you, Kenneth from Miami. I want to come there and go on the Miami Beach, go to South Florida, and turn up. Hey! And then, Kenneth, the other Kenneth from Washington, D.C., you know I want to come to Washington, D.C., and my buddy, Red A Baddie, I want to come to Chicago. I want to go to the interior design capital of the world. So me and you gonna have fun. I can't wait to decorate your lawn. And me and you is gonna have fun. That's gonna be on a future episode of Apartments and Homes. I can't wait. So now let's dive into the topic. So, cheap and bougie. So I want to talk about the different levels of cheap. So you have too cheap. And the too cheap is in the $1 to $100 range. And the problem with that is when you go inside a person's apartment, of course, you know their rent is going to be probably about $500 or $600 or whatever. And then so they go shop at Dollar Tree, 5 and below, or they don't spend no more than $100. And then if you go in there, you probably see, like, there's nothing wrong with a thrift store. There's nothing wrong with that. With getting stuff from a thrift store. But the thing is, I like to get stuff that's gonna last long. But you get, if everything in there is super cheap from $1 to $100, then it's just too cheap. It's not gonna look good. So you got the too cheap, the $1 to $100 range. And then the second level of cheap is so let's go into the first level of cheap. It is too cheap. And when you're too cheap, you're in the $1 to $100 range. And I'm gonna tell you, for me, when I was first starting out, paying the rent in my apartment, I was just worried about my rent. I wasn't worried about no home decor or nothing. The only thing I did was, with home decor, I started in the $1 range, where I bought stuff from Dollar Tree or any other dollar stores or thrift stores or major discount stores. I would never go no more than $100 on home decor. You could not get me to spend that money. I would spend that money more on food than anything. But I'm gonna tell you what the problem with being too cheap. For some reason, when you're too cheap and you have a too cheap looking apartment, it just attracts dirtiness. It attracts clutter. It attracts that. I noticed that. And when I was in the too cheap range, I would never want to clean. I was unorganized. It was all over the place. And then it's just something about when you're too cheap. It's just something. It just attracts clutter, ugliness, and it just doesn't look good overall. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. When you're too cheap, you're gonna come home, and you're gonna have a headache, and you're gonna wonder where your headache coming from. Cause I was just like, oh my God. I would be like, oh, like that's how I felt when it came to coming into a too cheap apartment, because nothing was ever looking right. So I said, let me up my budget, and which come to the next level of cheap. Cheap is when you're in the $100 to $200 range. So I'll take, for example, like my wine glasses. I spent $5.99 at TJ Maxx for my wine glasses. And then, and I was willing to spend like $10 to $20 on home decor. And then I moved up to affordable. And affordable is when you're in the $300 to $350 range. So the affordable is when I bought my dining table. I caught a good sale on it because it's normally $500. I paid $300, and then I paid $228 for the chairs. That's affordable. That's $300. That's something that's not. It's not cheap. It's affordable. Affordable is a bougie type of cheap. It's within your price range. You can get something nice, something that's gonna last long. It's not top quality, but it will last for a good minute. So, but let me go back over the levels of cheap. Too cheap, the $100 range. That's more like thrift stores, donation places. That's where you'll get your stuff from. That's where you totally shop at. Totally get all your stuff from thrift stores. And a Dollar Tree. And then there's the cheap, where you're upping your budget just by $100 more. When I was at Bed Bath & Beyond, I found a set of 4 glasses I can get for $10. And I end up spending $50 to get different types of glasses. That's cheap. And then, of course, affordable is when you want to get a dining table, a nice dining table, and some nice chairs. So that's good because you're willing to venture out and get something of quality. So the thing is, if you're going to be cheap, you should do it all in 3 ranges of cheap. Go to the Dollar Tree and thrift store when you need to. Now, so that's what I have for the different levels of cheap. Now I'm about to dive into the highly anticipated discussion. Boujee? And you know, I just went over the different levels of cheap. So I told you about too cheap, cheap, and affordable. And I told you affordable is the bougie type of cheap, when you're in the $300 to $350 range. Now, when you go above $350, bougie. Now I'm gonna talk about the 3 levels of bougie. Let's dive in. So the first thing I want to talk about is comfortable. And comfortable is when you're in the $400 to $600 range. And for me, let's take for example like my mattress. I was waking up with so much soreness. My neck will be hurting all the way from the neck up all the way to the spine down. When I tried to sleep on my side, it hurt. And the original cost that I was gonna go for my mattress was $1,300, and I was just like, that's gonna take time to get. So I went into a furniture store where I seen a nice mattress, a nice, affordable, comfortable mattress. It was $600, and then you know I had to get the box spring and everything with it. So I ended up laying on it. It felt so good. It was comfortable. And the thing about comfortable is it's not cheap material, but it's not high quality material. It's in between. So if you want to be comfortable, and it's like my desk. Like my desk was on sale for like $500, or I think $548. But I know it was within the $548 range, because the desk I had, it was the apartment desk. It was just breaking up. It was like tearing up. The texture was not smooth. It was so bad to the point I didn't even have enough elbow space for the desk. Like, anytime you don't have enough elbow space for your desk, start considering some other desks. So I wanted to do something in the comfortable range. It doesn't have to be high quality, comfortable. And that's the first type of bougie, comfortable. We're gonna get into expensive. Now, expensive is when you're in the $600 to $1,500 range. Like, let's just say, for example, like my couch. The couch and sofa I want to get, it's gonna be $1,000 to $1,300 altogether. And right now I'm saving up for it. And by the way, if you got good credit, you can just pay the minimum payment and just pay above that and just put the money back on credit. That way you can take time to pay. So for you who want to get that high quality furniture, work on your credit score. Cause that's what I'm doing. And that's the thing about it. When you spend money like this, it's gonna be worth it in the end. You gotta ask yourself, if you get this now, think about it, it's gonna last 5 to 10 years. Just like, for example, like my tiles that I paid $20 for, I'm gonna get something that's gonna last. And it's on the expensive range, but it's gonna be comfortable, and it's gonna be very high quality. Super Boujee. And Super Boujee is when you're in the $1,500 to $3,000 range. Am I going to go there? No. I am not going beyond $1,500 to $3,000 range. Unless if I got me a career or something like that. I got to be making me $100,000 or $200,000 a year in order to spend that money. Me, I just want enough just to be comfortable. And the problem with being super bougie, everything is too high end. Because if everything is too high end, I'm not gonna feel comfortable in my. I'm gonna be afraid to be messy. Because let's admit, we don't keep our place clean all the time. And the thing is, when you get super bougie, you're gonna be like worried about like, oh, don't tear this up, don't keep it clean. You just gonna be super nitpicky. Nobody don't want to be around nobody super nitpicky. Nobody don't care about that high quality furniture, because at the end of the day, it's the conversations that you have on the couch and the smiles you put on people's face sitting in the sofa. Though all this high-end furniture do not make a home. The people that sit on it and the friends you entertain make it. And I don't want to be super bougie. Come on. Are you serious? I want to talk about cheap and bougie, and to give more examples, because I talked about the different levels of cheap and I talked about the different levels of bougie. And I'm going to just break everything down for you. So let's talk about my bathroom, because that was the first place I started. The shelf I bought from Walmart, and I put it together myself. And it was cheap because I spent no more than $40 or $50 for it. I assembled it myself, and then I got me some fabric and some organizers, and then I put my luxury towels on there. Your shower rod. That's one thing you don't need to be cheap on, because I was cheap on that. I upgraded to a shower rod that I got from Bed Bath & Beyond. I paid $60 for, but it gives me, the thing about that, you have more inches in the shower, so you have more shower room. So that's quite a luxury. And then my shower caddy I paid $20 for, and then but my over the sink organizer I paid $5 for. So when I upgraded the bath mats, I paid $50 for both of them. But they're so soft on my feet. It feels so good, man. It's important to put a design plan together when you're decorating or doing your makeover, because when you're too rushed, because this is something I always see, when somebody too rushed to buy that stuff, they don't know what to do with it. And then that's where That's why some people have to hire the interior designer, or even not hire an interior designer, have somebody who have a good eye, who know how to put stuff together. And I'm being called to help people decorate their apartments. So it depends on what you want. Because I say I'm bougie and cheap. I say if you want to be on the cheap range, you can. But if you're trying to make your stuff to be like Pinterest, or if you want to walk into a place and it greets you and it smiles at you, then you may have to go on the bougie side, especially if you want your stuff customized. If you want your stuff customized a certain color, if you want customization, they'll be prepared to spend more money, because you're not gonna stay in the affordable range. If you want comfortable, want expensive, and because I'm gonna tell you something about expensive. When you have expensive stuff in your place, the value goes up. I bet you with the expensive stuff, you won't handle it like the cheap stuff. You will value it. Alright, so this concludes this video of Cheap and Boujee. Let me know what you think, and we can have a discussion about it. And I'll see you in the next video.